Alright, so for those of you that follow us on Facebook, you'll know I posted a post, why bees why. Got a perfect swarm trap right up above them, but they have decided to build their new nest underneath. So today we fix that problem. All right, so this didn't go as planned. The bees have actually built their colony underneath the actual swarm trap. I don't have this happen a lot. This is the third time that I've had it happen. It's not that big of a deal. I actually had a guy who has come to my house and visited me and has watched a lot of my videos. He's catching his own swarms now. And he sent me a video last night and said, hey, what do you think about this swarm? And I told him, I said, you know, the last time I had a swarm that did that, they actually didn't move in the box. They stayed outside the box. And I'll post a picture of his swarm that he caught here. And then this is an example of the one that I caught. And here's another example of one that I caught. Okay, so you can see that it happens. This one is a little bit bigger, and one of the ones I caught, as you've seen, was on the face of the hive. The other one was underneath, and this one's a lot bigger. So I've got a hive sitting down. Whew, smoke's choking me. I've got a hive sitting down here below. I'm gonna take this box down. I'm gonna hold it over the top of this hive, and I'm going to just do my best to shake all the bees off the bottom down in here. More than likely, they've got some comb on the bottom, and that's where the queen is. I would love to sit here and scoop the bees off by hand, put them in there, find the queen, but I don't have time today because I've got to go to work. It's 7:30 and I've got to be somewhere 5 minutes away, you know, at like 8 or 8:15. So let's get with it. We'll see if there's any bees inside. I doubt there are. About 10. I gotta move this smoker, man. This thing's killing me. I absolutely hate this camera sometimes when it turns off like it just did. I don't know exactly where I was at, but I can see on the last frame that I was holding the box there, and what I ended up doing was I just laid the box with the bottom kind of over top of the middle of the hive, and I had the top of the box kind of hanging off the front. I pulled off all the pieces of comb and looked at those. Didn't see any eggs, didn't see any queen, just a little bit of honey. And so I shook all the bees off of those comb pieces, and then I just took the box and just shook all the bees from the box onto the top of the hive. Then I picked the hive up, move the old swarm trap underneath and then set the box, my hive, on top of the swarm trap. Just like I told you in the last video, just making a stand. The only difference this time, I've got the top of the swarm box there facing the back of the hive, and you guys, mainly so you guys can see the comb where they were building their new hive. Let me zoom in and focus here. So there you can see it. They were actually going to build their nest on the bottom, which is what we did not want. So after that, I had a lot of chaos up here. I still do. It's getting better. You can't see it. But what I did was I used some of this stuff. Let me set it on the box so you can see it. I get it from, or I used to get from Brushy Mountain, but it's natural honey harvester. It's the stuff I said they say smells like almonds. I think it smells like cherries. And I sprayed some of that stuff on the tree. And the bees really don't like it. Same stuff you use on your fume boards. It runs all the bees off of the tree, gets them up in the air flying around, and they'll start to fan, and those bees will start to find that hive. And you can probably see there's bees, they're flying all around the hive now. So they'll eventually make their way in. I'll have to come back down here in a day or two and see if I can find a queen. I never saw the queen, didn't have time to look for her, and you know, if there's a queen, good. If there's not, then we'll just have to give them either a queen cell or a mated queen or a frame of brood to make a queen. Probably just give them a mated queen. So that's it. Just thought that'd be an interesting video. Like I said earlier, I've had 3 do this in the past, and it's not that big a deal. It's just kind of aggravating. I don't know what caused them to do it. My biggest concern right now is that maybe they didn't have a queen, and maybe it was just a really big swarm in the area, and half of the swarm, maybe it got separated, because I've had that happen before. And you know, there's a queen right part, and then there's a non-queen right part. Of course, on the other hand, they could have swarmed with a virgin, and she may not be mated and laying yet, so time will tell. Alright, so I got home from work. I've been planting some flowers. Thought I'd come down here and check this swarm box that that we shook the bees off the bottom in today. As you can see, all the chaos upstairs has stopped, and it's down here. I've not opened this box. I have no clue what's in here. A lot of activity at the front. So let's see what we got. We got some bees. So I'm not gonna mess with these. I'm just gonna leave them alone. They're in a hive. The pieces of comb that I broke off earlier, there's some. I showed y'all some pictures of that. No eggs in any of that. So I've got my bottom board flipped upside down. As you can see, the entrance isn't painted. I'll fix that later. I'm just not gonna mess with them. I'm gonna leave them alone. Had a lot of activity this week. I just checked another swarm trap at my house. I believe there's a small swarm in it. Not a lot of activity at the entrance. Popped the lid. There's some bees in there. I kind of blew across the tops of the bars, and they started buzzing and started coming out of there. So I shut them back up. I've got to work tonight. I've got to work tomorrow. Then I have to work Saturday and Sunday. So it's probably going to be Monday before I dig back into this one to see if I've got a queens and an eggs, and before I dig into that other one to see just how big that swarm is. I know it's small. I also have some bees messed around in that swarm trap at the road, and I don't know if it's a small swarm or what's going on there. But let's go look at this other one, because I can promise you, based on the activity on it, I don't think it's small. So we're gonna have a busy week next week, but let's take a look at this one and get a little preview of that action. Alright, so I hope the wind's not messing with it, but this is what I like to see with a swarm. When I come up to a swarm trap, that's what I want to see. I want to see bees on the outside of the box. Not as many as there's on the outside of that one we moved this morning. But I like to see them there. See the other two boxes, I've got a bee or two at the entrance and a bee occasionally going in and out. But you know, with this box, there's steady bees coming in and coming out, and that's what you want right there. So you know that box has got a good swarm in it. Or it should have a good swarm in it, I don't know. Sometimes they'll trick you. But that one's definitely got a good swarm in it. And we will tackle that one right there on Monday. Probably what I'll do is I'll come out here Monday first thing. I'll take this box down, transfer them. Then we'll go check the other boxes, check for queen in this one we just left. And we'll check for swarms in the other two. The two swarm traps where I've already caught bees this year that you've seen videos on, we'll go check those this weekend again to see what's going on there. So we'll have some videos next week.